afternoon. It's Anita and Miss Panda. She's going off, she's taking patrol with the Timepiece Garden. It is going to be another outstanding warm day today. So, again, we're going to kind of work on the front half of the house. We're going to finish pruning the pear. Micah's my little pole saw is over here laying out right there, big battery. So we're going to finish pruning it. And then I've got some pieces of firewood that, for whatever reason, were not cut the right length, kind of like that one down there. They're too large even for the wood-burning stove, even corner to corner. So since I have the pole saw out, I will trim those down as well. And then I've got a whole bunch of little things that, run through my brain. I still need to clean this garden up. Doesn't have to be number one. I need to get the rest of the black plastic down in the back garden. Just a whole bunch of little stuff. So it's a warm day. What do you do on a warm day? You make use of it. I got things to do. So again, I'll bring you along. What are we going to do with that pear? We're going to finish taking off that long branch that curves over to the right because it is too tall for me to get to, which means it'll be too tall for me to do anything with fruit. So trim it back, let it grow a couple of saplings there at the primary stump so I can, how can I say this? Keep it down to a height that I can manage. Say it's so much easier on a pear tree if you do that when they're young, So instead of having a 6-foot trunk, they only have a 4-foot trunk. So, and the 3 that I've got planted over there where the T-posts are, those will be maintained that way. They will never have more than a 2-foot trunk. All right. Anyway, let me get busy. Starting with that bad boy, and I'll talk to you in a few. Timing is everything. Yeah, came down here the other day, cleaned it all up. And the daffodils. Doing the daffodil thing. All right, talk to you later. All right, another task. We're in garden 2. If you notice, the hoop tunnels are not in here. All the plastic and stuff has been removed. It's all kind of laying here. I need to fold my wires up, take the plastic down to the greenhouse. We're going to have some freak 27-degree temperature. It's going to be 83 degrees today. And in like 3 days, we're going to hit 27 as a low. So I'm going to use my extra pieces of plastic here and some stuff that I had left over from cutting and framing the doors, and give my raised beds in the hoop tunnel a second layer. Does that make sense? Because the ground is warm. At 83 degrees, the ground is warming up. And so when the ground releases its heat at night, if it's only got a little 2-inch before that first layer of plastic, that makes sense. The seedlings will continue to do what they do. And then the water barrels in there will go ahead and keep the overall tunnel above freezing. It's the goal. So at this moment in time, it's just cleanup. And then other long-term things that I'm thinking, since these guys collapsed, does that make sense? If I put a piece of PVC pipe and kind of attach it at this end and arch it here in the middle, it makes sense, and attach it at that end. If the wire collapses at the edges, it won't collapse down on the plants like it did this year. But again, that's for next year. I don't use these in the spring. They're going to go up on the hill over there with the other 2 and just kind of hang out for a while. So anyway, let me get to cleaning up. And then, so white plastic will go to the hoop tunnel, and then I got to go grab my black plastic, because you can see where I've got weeds and stuff growing in here. I'm going to expand my asparagus bed this way, the same way that I expanded the garlic bed that way. My walking onions are here, but I've got kind of space over here. And then since nothing came up over here for where everything collapsed, it all gets black plastic. Does that make sense? And that way, when it's time for me to move stuff, the black plastic will kill the weeds and the weed seeds. And I'll just kind of keep going from there. Because I still have lots to do out here. You know, I've got that pile of dirt that I got to finish filling bricks and stuff. And I mean, it's just, I have stuff to do. I love a warm day like today. I just get stuff done. So anyway, let me get busy. Let me go clean up winter processes and get black plastic down in here. And I'll talk to you in a minute. My answer is, well, darn it. So, walking onions. Again, still doing awesome. Little freezes here have not been an issue for them. They're quite happy, got their little wood chips, and just want me to leave them alone. I got the rest of this road done in plastic. Didn't cut a piece to fit here. If I gotta weed that little piece, that's okay, but it's all the way down, it's in plastic. Yay! Started over here. This is where I'm going to expand the asparagus. Most people don't know asparagus is good for about 7 years. And then the patch will start to die. So you've got to be able to, one, expand it, and then two, let it go to seed sometimes. That way it's here forever. That's why it's called an asparagus patch. So again, I need to expand it. Plastic's down, so I'll be able to do that this year. But I ran out of plastic, which is insane. So right there is my my piece of garlic that decided to come up early. Now he's still got some green on him, but he's roughly in line with the little hump on the log right there. Where's my finger? There it is. Does that make sense? So from there to the end, I need plastic. And I don't have any. I'm out of plastic. Yeah. Well, I'm out of black plastic. I'm out of the stuff that I use for weed killing. Because you want it to create an excessive amount of heat when the sun hits it to kill the weeds and the weed seeds. So I need to go buy another roll of plastic because I don't have any more. And this is good space here. This is great garden space. You know, and all I can say is poo-poo. So anyway, off next to cut clear plastic in the hoop tunnel, and I'll talk about that down there. All right, see you in a few. All right, for right now, this is strictly show and tell. In the hoop tunnel, it is still hot, so this won't stay down here very long. When we have that 27-degree temperature, I have wire pieces set down, makes sense, and then I'll lay plastic over it. It's because the ground is thawed. Does that make sense? The ground is not frozen in here, and it will release heat. By putting a layer of plastic down this close, I'm going to show you these wires. It means the ground only has to let off heat to keep, 8 inches warm, 8 inches above, 3 feet wide. Does that make sense? Instead of a 6-foot hoop tunnel. I will refill my water before we get into that freeze, and same thing. So the outside temperature may be 27. The inside temperature here will probably be about 32. It'll probably hit right at freezing because the water will keep it semi-warm as it releases its heat. Makes sense? And then inside the plastic, will probably be in the 40s, or high 30s. It will be above freezing regardless. Does that make sense? So that's the plan. Now I'm gonna end up taking this plastic off again. We're supposed to hit 83 today. I'm just making sure that I've got enough plastic to run the length, because I just ran out of black plastic over there to do both sides. I do, and I'm just gonna go get some pieces of wood, my scrap pieces, just so I can hold the corners down so the plastic's not laying on the ground. That's the hoops. Does that make sense? But it will hold that heat in. All right, talk to you in a few.